Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Thursday Throwdown here for the Atlantic Coast Football League. It's week number 1, part 2 here. We got your analysis, your recaps, as well as the predictions here for part number 2. We got games in Bayonne, New Jersey, games in Rahway, New Jersey, 6-on-6 flag, 6-on-6 flag in the South, yes, 8-on-8 flag, and a whole lot more. And I'm joined here by my partner, as always, Mr. Giant918.
www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Follow us on Instagram, ACFL_Atlantic Coast Football. I made the request last week to shorten the handle on there, but they didn't do it yet. But we got a lot of followers on there, so we appreciate all the comments on there as well. Want to give a shout-out to JT, producer Jim Flanagan, my man over here as well, for all the production hits over here as well. And shout-out to AJ Santos as well, man, to assist with the production tonight. Lots of things popping. We got some recaps from week 1 as well. We got some predictions for week number 2 as well. And the first week of ACFL South this week, Flanny, lots of things going on in the ACFL.
A lot of games, man. A lot of games, a lot of teams, a lot of football. I love it, man. That Bayonne, New Jersey, man. Got games. We had six games this week number 1, part 1. 3 fields right there in Bayonne. Nice facility. Great facility. Great job in JT in acquiring this field on there. Had parking and everything. I mean, you name it on here, right next to the bay. I mean, you could set up a barbecue there, Giant. It's just like, tremendous. I think it'd be a great field for when he has tournaments, for a tournament field, because able to fit 3 fields at once on there, getting 3 games going at once, and that's what we saw this past Sunday. And then, this week, you mentioned the South starts here. We're going to have 6 games there. And, Giant, the South is going to change it up on the format. It will be 6-on-6 flag. That's right. It's going to be 6-on-6 flag in the South. We got a 6-on-6 flag in the North. And we, as always, we got the 8-on-8 flag. So,
it's very exciting to see that. And a lot of people call two-hand touch, they call it Bush League, and it's kind of weak and stuff. So it takes a little bit talent in order to play the flag football, and it's much more realistic to a lot of people as well. The prestigious, all these teams are fantastic, but the prestigious is pretty much the 8 versus 8. I mean, you got the bouncers basically lining up over there on the offensive line to protect the quarterback. Lots of players on the field at the same time. It's pretty exciting. I got to try to get down there to Bayonne sometime this season just to say hello to some of the guys. Let's move on, Flanny, and let's go over the 6 versus 6 week 1 recap. We got the that beat the Bankers 26-12. I mean, it just looks like the Bankers offense didn't show up to play here. Not much more you could say about that. We don't have much other stats. Anything else on this game, Flanny?
Yeah, I didn't hear much about this game, but great start here, for the Bears. And, Bears got a good squad, man. They got a good squad. They picked up key players. I saw Dan Brown out there. So, this team has got the players here. They played against the Bankers. Now, Giant, the Bankers had that doubleheader that we mentioned, last week. And 12 points ain't going to get you, And Bankers, not only this, when we get to the 8-on-8, they only scored 6 in that. So only 18 points all day there for the Bankers. So great job there by the Bears. The Bears defense holding them down to only 12 points. And good start for the Bears, 1-0, as predicted, by the guru there at the Instagram feed. So, he got it right.
Yeah. All right, so we discussed a little bit about the Bankers' lack of offense, but speaking of offense, Cobras absolutely dominated the Savages, who ended up looking like the Savagettes. 41-3 the final. The Savagettes looked absolutely horrible. the Cobras quarterback, Adam, came back after surgery and being out last season. You would think with 41 points he had a great day, but I believe he had maybe 2 touchdown passes. I don't know if he played poor, but the defense had a couple of the picks, and 2 of them went for touchdowns, and it would have been 3 if Chad didn't drop the other one. So, Ocho, maybe you want to go pick that ball up when you can, easily catchable ball. The other quarterback got the other touchdowns when they were inside the 5-yard line. So Savage's quarterback had an awful day, being rushed by Earl and Mod, and I don't even know if he went to sleep that night, Flanny. What do you think?
Listen, I would have had nightmares all night. I mean, seeing Earl, MOB in front of you like that, Earl actually tipped one, took it to the house. That's a defensive lineman there. So, but it was great. You know, it was great to see Adam come back. You know, here. I mean, it's a great, tremendous play there for the Cobras. But it just shows you how good this defense is. You know, Cobras were solid even when he that season off there for him. He had that big surgery. You know, Cobras were still great, legit team, and it's the playmakers around there. You know, defensively. I mean, you mentioned it, 41 points here by Cobras. Looking at the score, you would think, oh man, I mean. Adam must have thrown like 6-7 touchdowns, but no, that wasn't the case here, you know, but not that he had a bad game at all, you know what I mean, but, you know, the Cobras defense, 3 picks, 2 of them going to the house, you know, Savage's offense got to get better, and, you know, but they played a great squad here, but you got to beat these top teams, man, these big teams here. Unfortunately, Savages could not do it. They got to get things going. And Cobra's off to a tremendous start here, as always, in the 6-on-6 flag.
Yeah, and we're going to go over the last game now. Now, Devenio ends up beating the Dirt Demons, and this was the most competitive game in the 6 versus 6. 25-13 is the final, and a decent game here with film coverage. Just want to give a shout-out to the Devenio team. And I ended up finding out after last week's show, because I thought the name was kind of hurt. They named it after, it's a memorial team, basically. They named it after a kid ended up being involved in a fatal car crash, died on Route 3. Mike Devenio, beloved in my old stomping ground in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. Went to Paramus High, Paramus Catholic, and sounded like a great kid. Cut life way too short, and you know, usually teams, they wear something, a name on the back, but they actually named it the team. So shout out to Devenio. Hopefully they continue their success in beating the Dirt Demons, and it's good to see the vet Rich back in the league after about a decade. Lots of new talent, so thankfully you guys have been heeding our word from previous seasons. Get your, you know, brothers, your sisters, get your kids off their asses to get up and play. And that's what it looks like over here. You know, we don't have all the names, but it's good to see some of the guys and knowing the rules and the format. But, you know, I think the team is getting better. They will get better with experience as the season goes. And the O-line and the defensive line of Devenio was absolutely outstanding. This is my scouting report, Flanny. Anything you could add to that?
I agree, man. I totally agree with that. It was a great game to watch. This game we did get on film. You guys could check that one out. There's a bunch of highlights posted on this one as well. But, you know, the Pace Trucking Demons, man, I mean, they had great playmakers, tall receivers out there and stuff, but they couldn't get it done, you know. Great quarterback, great arm there, but these guys were quick, man, on the Devenio team, young talent. You mentioned, being a lot of these guys, I didn't see these guys in this league. A lot of them are new players, besides a guy like Rich, who's been around, and it's good to have a veteran guy like that on the team, because, you know, he'll help them out, get them better, you know, and stuff, so... You know, I think this team's only going to get better as the weeks go by, you know. It's a new team, but they got the win number 1 here, and I think they will only improve as the weeks go by. So watch out for this team. Might be one of those dark horse teams that come around, man.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so let's move along to the 8 versus 8. USO Bankers only scoring 6 points. And you guys, you're just not going to be winning any games scoring only 6 points. Most competitive game of the 8 versus 8 ended up losing 10-6 versus USO. Needs to give credit to USO defense as well. But this game sounded like an absolute snooze fest. Not much offense at all, Flanny.
No, not much. Well, a field goal won it here, but so one touchdown apiece. But yeah, I got to give my hands to USO defense, though, man. You know what I mean? But Banker's offense was just non-existent, Giant here, and to start the season. So great job to USO because they didn't look so hot in that tournament, but that tournament had awful weather, had guys probably that didn't show up. So they definitely showed up here to start the season and got the win for the Bankers. 0-1, both the 6-6 and 8-8. Not a good start there for Rojas and the squad there.
Okay, and
I think we have one more, right? One more.
Okay, it's breaking up a little bit. Yeah. We got a couple more games. So next matchup we got over here is the Canes versus the Bulldogs. And no surprise here that the Canes, the fall 8 versus 8 champions, they continue to dominate. The deficit over here is absolutely huge. But in defense of the Bulldogs, they did not have their O-line, and their O-line are bouncers, and they had trouble making the early games. So the Canes, they usually need early game hurt the Bulldogs, and also the Bulldogs, they dropped possibly 2 scores. So they got a good receiver from the Blazers with them this season. We'll see if the Bulldogs could turn it around, but an absolute shellacking from the Canes. So, guys, it looks like the Canes are the team to beat so far. Flanny, what do you got on this?
Look, man, if you don't have your O-line when you're playing the Canes, you ain't winning. You got to have everybody when you go up against a team like the Canes. These are defending fall champs. That's right, defending champs here, and they haven't lost a step here. Here comes the spring, and, they're looking on another championship, Giant.
All right, and we'll go to the last game of last week. Smash Mouth shutting out 12-0 the Apex Predators. The only thing that the Apex got, they got their asses kicked. There's some big boys on the line for Smash Mouth. These guys look like they can compete this season, and Apex, who normally looks like they are competitors, looked exact opposite this game. This game was pretty much one on the line, it seems like, and they might need a guy or two on the line to get some offense. So also I got to report that the Smash Mouth's quarterback looks good. So.
Yeah, no, he definitely looked pretty good. I'm interested in seeing more from this quarterback for the Smash Mouth, He had a good game here, only put up 2 scores, but still, the defense did the rest. You mentioned the guys up front. Yeah, Smash Mouth got some big boys there, man. So I think a team that will definitely compete in the 8-on-8 division, and Apex maybe needs a guy or two up there, But I'm definitely interested to see more of this quarterback. Definitely a team that I want to capture and film. This game was exciting. The atmosphere in this game was crazy. They had guys on the sideline. You had music blasting there, people dancing. It was a happening scene, I wish I had this one on film, but unfortunately I had the other field. This one started prior to the other game, so I didn't get this one. But I'm keying out on Smash Mouth, so definitely get them this season if they continue their winning ways like they did here in Week 1.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so let's move along to some of the matchups. We got some of the Instagram. We got some of the predictions on the Instagram as well. I plugged that earlier. But let's move on to the South now before we give our predictions. For the ACFL North, and it's the first matchup we got. So want to give a shout out to everybody down in the ACFL South, and as well, there's a little bit of controversy over here with Field Mob. They didn't want to really move to Flag 6, and it gets people fired up in the north, So, I mean, they're moving to Flag now in the south, but they talked a lot of trash, man. But it's a different game with Flag football. Is that right, Flanny?
Well, there definitely was a lot of trash talk during the off season, by this team, and I think a lot of people hoped or wanted to see them move to the North Port. There's a lot of controversy going on, like, they don't want to play, they don't want to play these teams, or they're not good enough to play these teams, or not good enough to play the flag style, But, yeah, like you mentioned, the South is going to be flagged this season, so that's something to watch out for to see, because, that does change things, a lot of things, going from touch to flag. So we'll see how these teams, transpire to that, to the flag style. But I think more of people were disappointed and wanted to see this Field Mob play a lot of the flag North teams, such as the All-Stars, such as the Cobras, the Bruins, But we're not going to see that matchup. But they are playing still in the South, which, like I said, is 6-on-6 flag style. They're saying pretty much, Giant, it's because of the locations. A lot of their guys play in that region, that area. So if they did move up to the north, that means a lot more travel-wise goes. A lot more, getting to the field as opposed to that Rahway field, as opposed to Bayonne. Much bigger difference. So, so that's where we're at. Maybe, who knows? Maybe end of the season we'll get a North versus South, get the two champions play each other. So that's a possibility. For one game, I'm sure they could somehow manage that. So we'll see.
Yeah, the field in Rahway, that's next to that swimming club or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that field. It's a grass field. It's not turf, but I prefer
Well, we used the turf
field.
field for the championship, actually. They do have a new built turf field there.
Yeah, the one right next to it. Yeah, the one right next to it. I saw that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice. It's a nice turf field, but I get it because, grass is uneven and stuff like that, too, I just think it's safer for the players, too. That's my own personal opinion. All right, so let's move on to the predictions. 10-yard fight versus Ozone. 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time over here for the ACFL South, and I'm going to take 10-yard fight over here. It's I don't even think it's going to be that close. I don't know that Ozone is all that. Flanny, who you got on this game?
I'm going the other way, man. I'm going the other way. I know Ozone had a disappointing fall season, but I think Dave gets his team, man. He gets these guys. That was the big part. I think Ozone was the guy showing up, getting everybody there, man. But I think they're going to do so here for the spring. And if they do, I like this Ozone team. Why? Ozone, a lot of the guys on the Ozone have played flag before. They played in the ACFL North. Was as far as 10-yard fight, I don't know. So that's why I'm leaning towards that way. I know a 10-yard fight is one of those teams comes in like, how the hell did they win? You know what I mean? A lot of older veteran players on that 10-yard fight team, whereas Ozone is a much younger squad, but they got tons of speed, and Giant speed in flag does make a difference. So I'm going with Ozone. I like the I'm going with the Instagram Ozone pick.
All right, next game up, we got the 6 versus Field Mob, and this is my understanding, man. The Field Mob is a team to beat.
Yeah.
So not much competition over here. Field Mob's going to take it pretty comfortably against the 6. Who you got on this?
Yeah. Listen, I like the 6 team. I do, but not in this matchup. The 6 guy, that guy Nelson on there, this guy's a playmaker. And now when you add in the
yeah,
flag,
yeah.
he becomes more dangerous, I think, So I think they got to definitely utilize him in this game, just even running the ball with him, just a short screen pass to him because the guy could make some plays and he might be a lot harder to catch as well. So he might cause some problems here. But again, the six, another team that sometimes only shows up with six guys, and where Field Mob always shows up to play. So, and that's why I'm going with them. I can't go against the Mob team. They got a solid squad there. I want to see, there's a lot of talk here about, they played in the touch. Well, we're going to see them here in the flag. I think they want to prove a statement here in week number 1. So, going with the champs.
Yeah, this might be the game of the week. Last game we got is Wolverines versus the Warriors.
Actually, Rebels. Yes, that's changed. My bad. It's Rebels against Wolverines. There's players from the Warriors though that are playing on, but it's TJ and the Rebels mainly on that. Yes.
Okay, so it's the Rebels. Okay, TJ with the Rebels. Okay, versus the Wolverines. Yeah, I mean I think the Rebels are going to win that one too. I think they are.
I agree with you, man. I agree with your pick there. I like the Rebels. I like the Rebels a lot here in the South.
As soon as you told me the quarterback, I'm like, yeah, they'll win. I know the quarterback.
And they got a couple of key Warrior players as well on here. And look, Rebels played in the winter, man, championship game. They came out a little bit short against the Warriors. So this team's good, man. This is good flag team, and it's another team that has to get used to the flags, man, because a lot of the guys there have played. TJ has played in numerous leagues, the North ACFL, the South ACFL, even the South area. So I mean, I'm definitely going with them just because the experience and everything. These guys might even be a blowout, man. So. Yeah,
all right, so we'll move on to our predictions for the 8 versus 8. There's only one game this week, and that's the Warriors versus the Monstars.
John, before we go there, I want to mention one thing. Since we were on the South topic, you mentioned the controversy with the Field Mob. Now, a lot of people are saying, listen, man, Field Mob won the championship in the fall. Jokers were not playing in the fall, But then when the Jokers won in the spring, Field Mob was not playing, Both these teams are playing this season, so we're going to see the Jokers versus Field Mob here in the season and possibly in the playoffs. A lot of people are already predicting that it's probably going to come down to these two teams, man. So, but I disagree. I mean, I like both of those squads on there. I even like Ozone, I like Ozone there to play the upset card, but I think it's going to be there. I don't think it's going to be a Joker's Field Mob showdown like everybody thinks, of those teams. I think the Rebels, that's right. I think the Rebels, the Dark Horse team, is going to come in here. I'll tell you why. I think it's going to be, because I'm circling that game on my schedule, Giant. It's not, a lot of people are waiting, it's going to be Joker's Field Mob. When are they going to play? When is Field Mob going to play Rebels? Because that's the game I want to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
I think a lot of people are underestimating this team, man. And, already jumping on the gun like, Field Mob's going to dominate this season or Jokers is the team to beat. But watch out, man. This Rebels team is my undercard there. And watch when they play, man. JT, make that matchup. I know it's got to happen here in this season, so we'll see it one way or the other.
Yeah, looking forward to that. All right, let's move to the 8 versus 8 flag schedule prediction for that one. We've got the Warriors versus the Monstars. I don't know these teams, but it looks like the Warriors are going to win based on, the predictions over here that I see on them. And I'll roll with that. And that looks like a pretty healthy beatdown, score disparity as well. So it seems as though the Warriors should be winning this one pretty handily, Flanny. You got a prediction on this?
Yeah. Well, Warriors won in the winter, even though it was only 4 teams competing there. 4 or 5, I don't know. But yeah, Warriors got a good squad. I don't know much about the Monstars. I think it's a team from a different league. But I got to see them first. So Instagram, when he's got picks like that, when it's lopsided like that, He's got, I think he knows some kind of something that we don't know. So, but yeah, I'm definitely going with the winner champs, the Warriors. They got some good guys out there, man. Good talent, good speed, and 8-on-8. I don't think it's gonna be there. I know the winter was 6-on-6, but still, Warriors play both formats, so it really don't matter.
All right, and the next game, which we're going to move on to the 6 versus 6. And this game, the Wild Breed, the word on the street is, and they're playing the All-Stars, and the word on the street is that they have been hinting at a new quarterback that they have been hyping up, but we don't have a name on who that could be. And they also got some fresh jerseys, so I like that. You got fresh faces, fresh jersey versus the All-Stars. So I'm going to pick the Wild Breed over here, Flanny. Who you got
upset.
on that?
Man, listen. Every time
they're hyping it. So is it the hype? Is it the hype? Or is it
well, you're definitely going. I mean, I've heard about the hype as well myself. You know,
the pipe, or just the pipe. Is that all?
It could be, man. But I'm just surprised how they've kept it secret this long. It's only 2 or 3 days till Sunday, and we don't know. So I'm interested to see who this quarterback is as well. Could be the difference maker. New jerseys you mentioned, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So fresh jerseys, but yeah, I want to see this quarterback. I heard it's a lot of the old Breed team, and if it is, you might be right. It could be an upset in the making here, but you know, hey, listen, All-Stars, 6-on-6. Even though they lost the 8-on-8 champs, they've been the 6-on-6 champs for consecutive seasons now. You know, not just last season, not just the fall, the spring. They do it consistently. You mentioned about them going to the White House. Yes, and I'm still riding the All-Star bandwagon here until they get taken off that pedestal, man. And I don't think it happens in week 1.
Okay, and I just got this note handed to me. I just want to give a shout out to Moyano. I just want to let you know that you're still fat, and that's from AJ Santos. He's publicly announcing that as well. You are still fat, Moyano. Okay, so just a heads up on that. Shout out to Moyano. Shout out to AJ Santos as well.
Moyano of the All-Stars, man. I mean, look, people do crack jokes on the guy, man, but he's a tremendous player nonetheless, man. So we'll definitely, I'm pretty sure we're going to see him this Sunday, so up on that line, man. But yeah, interesting matchup here. So you took the Breed. I'm going with the All-Stars, man. Who did Instagram go with, man?
All right.
Who did
the prediction has the All-Stars winning
All-Stars. Too. Okay. Yeah, I'm riding with that.
Yeah. All right. So next lineup, we got the Bruins versus the Goonies, and there's no prediction due to possible karma being occurred. So there's no prediction over here on Instagram for this. But I don't know. I like the Goonies. I like the Goonies, Flanny.
Listen, Mike Vick's playing there for the Goonies. You got Bernie Mac over there for the Goonies. I love this team. I love filming this team. So, hint, hint, I might be getting this game. But, you know, tremendous team. I mean, you know, but the Bruins, I don't know. I mean, god-awful performance in the tournament by the Bruins, but I don't think that repeats itself here. You know, you got AJ Santos out there. You got Mike Vick. Great matchup here between these two. I mean, it's going to be a classic in the making again. I don't see it like a blowout either way here. But so, coin toss here. He didn't want to prick it. Giant, you're taking the Goonies. But you know what? I'm going to take the Bruins. I'm going to take the Bruins here. If you call it an upset here, but that's what I'm going with.
All right, and our final prediction of the week, fellas. In Your Mouth versus the Avengers. And, I mean, I don't know. We got In Your Mouth and the Avengers. I think the Avengers, right? I think it's going to be the Avengers. I'm going to pick the Avengers, Flanny. Who you got on this, man?
Yeah, I mean, well, another new team In Your Mouth we don't know much about. So, you know, I gotta agree with your pick as well. Agree with the Instagram
Dude,
pick.
unless In Your Mouth got Thanos on their team, bro, I think the Avengers are going to take it, man. But Thanos has to be on In Your Mouth for them to get a chance on that.
Hey, man, if they play like Smash Mouth, who knows, man? So.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if they're cousins or what. Smash Mouth and In Your Mouth. So. All right.
Man.
Anything else you got for tonight, Flanny?
Nah. Well, as always, always working back in the scenes. A lot of discussions going. There should be about a possible update coming in the weeks to come. Changes, some new ideas, new formats. With the site goes, with the boards and all that. So look forward to that as the weeks go by. And great show, man. Great show, Giant. Great having you on here, man. Thursday Throwdown, as always. Try to be here for you guys every week with the recap, with the analysis. If you guys got any type of scoops or anything, or any type of news, gossip, or anything, always hit us up, man. We'll bring it on the show here. Maybe we'll even get a guest on the show. We'll see. But yeah, that does it here, man. That does it here.
All right, make sure you guys continue to check us out, www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Follow us at Instagram at ACFL_Atlantic Coast Football. Jim Flanagan, Giant 918, signing out. We'll see you next week, fellas. Have a good night.